What are
You
you
get
talking
triggered
about?
by the Sly for Vaughn comments. They be saying Sly for Vaughn. I think they trolling me.
No reason, I just don't see them comments no more.
Cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is...
Back in 2022, Lil Durk posted a selfie with $1 million in cash sitting on his bathroom counter. At the time, everyone brushed it off as a regular flex, but the meaning of that photo has now completely shifted and could change his case forever, because today, that image was brought up inside a courtroom. Prosecutors are now claiming Lil Durk put $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo in 2022. According to court documents, the discovery alleges that defendant banks used trusted lieutenants to recruit hitmen to fly to Southern California on August 18, 2022, to target Quando Rondo. The filing states, consistent with defendant Banks' promise to reward co-conspirators, defendant Wilson solicited hitmen by promising $1 million payment on behalf of defendant Banks in exchange for traveling to Los Angeles to carry out the crime. Prosecutors are pointing to the photo of the $1 million in cash on Lil Durk's bathroom counter as an alleged confirmation image, essentially signaling the cash is ready, the job is yours. The evidence file goes even further, stating that co-conspirators were rewarded in other ways. That included appearances in music videos and shout-outs in rap lyrics in the months following the crime, with the most notable example being Lil Durk's Block is Hot, allegedly as a reward for defang. Because authorities believe this amounts to concrete evidence against Lil Durk, they feel they can exert strict control over him while he's incarcerated. Durk's legal team responded by filing a request for a status hearing, arguing that he has been held in a special housing unit without due process since August 29, 2025, where he's confined to a tiny cell with just a bed, toilet, and sink for 23 hours a day. The filing adds that he has no access to the commissary. He's reportedly limited to just one phone call per month and 0 in-person visits. Durk was originally placed in SHU as punishment for allegedly possessing an Apple Watch. However, his attorneys argue that this alleged infraction has still not been reviewed by the disciplinary committee, a process that typically happens within 5 working days. The situation has become so concerning that even fellow inmates have reportedly started calling around, trying to make sure someone is stepping in to help the Chicago rapper.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS, and right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they're trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
But some people feel this is exactly what Lil Durk brought on himself after being tied to such a serious situation. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, because this whole situation led to Durk's team posting on his IG story saying, "It's crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark to see who's really with you." That message echoed the old Durk, the one who had spoken before about feeling isolated. Even DJ Academics weighed in, pointing out how many artists in the industry have seemingly distanced themselves from him.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to fuck India, man. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what, I think Durk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free not Smurf. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. They moved it. I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that, but Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning. because you locked.
Like the video if you're still riding with Durk, because right now it feels like everybody else is backing away. Academics even went a step further, saying that once Durk eventually gets out, he won't be the same artist we all grew to love.
The Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm gonna tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming, nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others, y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, yo, Gunna's a snitch, I can't f Gunna. Man, f that. I don't care, I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song,
But sadly, the reality is Lil Durk may never see freedom again. According to reports, Durk's co-defendants, D Boogie and Brown Eyes, agreed with federal prosecutors to push the trial back by 5 months, moving it to May 4th. Durk, however, initially refused. He wanted the trial to begin on the originally scheduled January 7th date. Once this disagreement was brought up in court, the judge allowed prosecutors to take the stand and explain their position. Reports say the prosecution confidently stated they have multiple cooperating witnesses ready to testify that Durk was the main organizer behind the alleged murders. In other words, the message was clear. They weren't worried about timing because they believed their case was already strong. This statement led to a brief recess in the courtroom. When proceedings resumed, Durk's legal team ultimately gave in. It was officially announced that the murder for hire trial has now been postponed until the spring. The new trial date for Durk and his 5 co-defendants is set for May 4th, with a pre-trial conference scheduled for April 13th. And this changes everything.
Lawyer, and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only 2 ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
With the judge flat out rejecting any attempt to get the case tossed, it now officially means Durk is heading to trial in May. And listen to this. That decision alone sent a wave of mixed emotions through the rap industry, with some people bracing for impact, while others quietly realizing this situation just got very real.
This is my last no jumper. Durk Tare told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break it down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Durk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out. So this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
that what type of police
has been alleged to have ordered them.
Free smirk though,
Free smirk. But also maybe
police. It's a platform. There's some police.
Just sit down for a little and decide, hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that we don't.
All right, now here's where things take a crazy turn. But barely an hour after court wrapped up for the day, a bombshell update hit the internet. The feds allegedly got Odavani to flip on Durk. And hold up, this is huge. Odavani isn't just anybody either. He's been described as one of Lil Durk's closest right-hand men. If something needed to be handled in the streets, all roads reportedly led straight to Vanye. They were arrested together and, up until that moment, were expected to stand trial side by side. Then suddenly, after court, his status changed, showing he was no longer in Bureau of Prisons custody, signaling a release, most likely to house arrest. That move got confirmed later that same night when Vanye allegedly got access to a phone and texted someone close to him, and that person ended up leaking everything. In those messages, Vanye reportedly said he was trying to plead out on a 32, which he described as the base charge for murder for hire. He went on to explain that the max was 43, basically life, but that he could shave points off with a plea, early cooperation, and a clean background. According to him, that would leave him with 27 points, translating to roughly 5 to 7 years. He even admitted that it sounded way better than the alternative. Then he straight up said he couldn't risk going to trial. He claimed he might get an elbow and didn't want to end up gutted like the other guys. When he mentioned not wanting to get gutted, he was allegedly referencing Jam and what happened to him. But trust me, we'll circle back to that part later. Once this all started blowing up online, DJ Academics jumped on a live stream to break it down. Things escalated even more when Odavani's own father joined Academics and claimed his son played a major role in King Von's death and that Durk allegedly knew, saying he went public because he would disown his own son for snitching in the case.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him, was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? Yeah. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before.
DJ Academics then followed up with the million-dollar question. Why would Durk allegedly want King Von gone? Police pointed out that at the time of Von's death, Durk and Von were tied together in an ongoing court case. That case later ended in a quiet, private settlement, which raised eyebrows because the trial couldn't continue once Von passed away. And that alone made people start asking uncomfortable questions. Why would Durk want Von out of the picture? Listen to this. First of all, Von didn't sign over his rights. He wasn't locked into a 360 deal. And let's be real, you bring someone into the game and they suddenly start surpassing you. You pull me to the table and now I'm outshining you. Nobody wants their seat taken, right? That's where things start getting interesting. Von was selective. He was a signing artist. He was making moves. But here's the kicker. He actually wasn't contractually tied to Durk like people thought. That revelation changed the whole narrative. People realized Von wasn't even signed to him, which then made folks question how real that friendship actually was. Durk even told a questionable story on The Breakfast Club, claiming Von had expensive jewelry and legal protection, when in reality, Von had a public defender. That contradiction led to Von's father tweeting that Durk had Von dealt with, and that's when things really spiraled. It also made people notice a strange pattern. Every time someone connected to Durk passed, Von, FBG Duck, and other Chicago rivals, Durk would go live on Instagram almost immediately. Some believe those IG lives acted as real-time alibis if the feds ever questioned where he was. Then more evidence surfaced from what Vonnie allegedly handed over. Federal prosecutors claim there's an iMessage group chat detailing plans and retaliation orders. According to court filings, Durk is accused of ordering hits on O Block members for not retaliating hard enough after King Von's death. Prosecutors say they plan to present testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave those orders himself. In the paperwork, it states that Durk feuded with O-Block member Mana Duke over this exact issue. Black 100 even reacted publicly, saying some of the moves looked extremely suspect. He questioned why certain people were sent to certain places. Why were specific messages sent? But he also pointed out there's no direct message where Durk explicitly says, "Do it." Others pushed back and said that wasn't the point. They already have a cooperating witness. Actually, more than one. And you don't need much more than that. Court documents reportedly show multiple cooperators, with conversations outlining logistics and payments. Because Vonnie was allegedly in the iMessage group chat, he turned over his phone. The feds then matched those messages to real-world crimes tied to Durk. That evidence is also connected to claims that Durk was behind the attempted hit on Quando Rondo in 2021 at a gas station. According to the file, surveillance footage and witness statements lined up perfectly with the message timestamps. There were also repeated conversations about getting Quando handled, which made Durk's lyrics about locations and news headlines sound way too specific. Now, authorities are reportedly searching for 3 suspects linked to a shooting involving a Savannah rapper's entourage in Los Angeles. Security cameras captured the chaotic aftermath. One passenger was seen panicking at the scene. But Vonnie isn't the only one who allegedly flipped. What Lil Durk's circle did next left the rap world stunned. One rapper even said, "Please tell me this isn't real." Unfortunately, it was. New evidence surfaced involving body cam footage of Lil Ted begging police to cooperate. Lil Ted, known as FBG Duck's younger brother, is also one of Durk's closest associates. He's allegedly the same person who helped organize the LA situation involving Quando. Police picked him up at a convenience store with a gun in his jeans. He was immediately taken into custody. Before even entering the station, tears were rolling down his face. He begged officers, saying he'd tell them everything about the passings. He hoped cooperation would keep him out of jail, but it was already too late. In the holding cell, he was seen breaking down, desperate to talk. Now the big question is, what did Lil Ted tell the police? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and like the video if you're still standing with Durk, because I'm curious how many of you really are.